Gentlemen, what's going on? This is part two. James Love in the background. This is episode 2. We asked Ron what the deal. Now we have a special guest in the house, like we promised, that we're gonna bring y'all a lot of new things. That's Smoov De Niro. Say what's up, Smoov.
What's up, fellas? What's up, ladies?
You know, hip hop artist from Harlem. Real a pleasure to have him in the house with us. He usually works with us, so you know, y'all probably heard some of his music on the underlying tracks of the last pilot that we put together. Now, Ron, what's the deal? How you feeling today?
I'm good.
You sure?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good. Smoov.
Yeah.
What's the deal?
I'm cooling. I'm chilling. You know.
Now, we gonna hit a couple of topics like we normally do, you know, to address some of the issues that people might not be unaware of or not too particular focus on, or some of y'all may be aware of these questions, but we're gonna give y'all our perspective on them, you know, as young black people in the black community. So one of the questions that we're gonna go into is that we hit on last week was the minimum wage question, right? So now McDonald's came out recently with a pay increase for their quote-unquote employees, but it only applies to the corporate part of the company, and statistics shows that majority of McDonald's is franchised to independent people, which is something that a lot of people didn't look at because they overlooked it. So my question is to you is should it be equal across the board, even if you own a franchise or you're part of the corporation?
Yeah. Yes, it should, but it's not. It should be. They need to, you know, eat fried too. Why not? Absolutely. But of course they're not going to do it because they're giving that man on the top his money. The man on the bottom, the poor one, is not getting it, but he's doing all the hard work.
Right. And it also was a protest that happened recently where people are demanding $15. Now, I've looked around personally, and a study's been showing that the gross domestic product, or what people produce as opposed to the wealth they earn, technically it's supposed to be like somewhere in the range of $35 per hour minimum wage. Now, that would be appropriate in today's time. Now, we're gonna ask Smoov what does he think about the situation between corporate and franchise on the story that they put out dealing with the raise and the wage. What do you think about that?
Well, so far that you know, from what I could get a gist of it, you know, I haven't heard too much of that per se, but from what I heard, you know, it's really not fair. You know, I thought this was supposed to be a land of opportunity, equal opportunity for all. You know, it shouldn't be no different from this race of color or this culture getting any different from this culture or that culture. Everybody's the same. So
right,
that will raise a question in your head. That should raise questions in people's head, like, you know, what's really going on?
Right.
What kind of game y'all really playing?
Right. Now, being that this is your first time coming on, we're going to rewind it because I asked Ron a question last week. I went to a Yankee game. Right. And I observed multiple people drinking out of red cups. I just want to get your opinion on this. Now, no, hold on. Before you answer, Multiple people was drinking out of red cups, and it was alcohol.
Okay.
The question that I asked Ron, was, do you think it's fair for, if you attend a game or a specific event, and whether it's an urban neighborhood or not, and the way the police treat people towards this particular thing, do you think it's right for them to be able to be overlooked, as opposed to us already living in the community and we decide to, say, want to have a drink outside, you know, socially, you know, in a public space? Do you feel that certain individuals are being able to be overlooked and just wave to the side for public drinking?
You asking me?
Yeah.
Well,
what I'm trying to say to you is that I've seen a groups of white people drinking, and this is not a racial thing or any, nobody being biased or anything, but we know that certain people could get away with a lot of shit, and we constantly being told that these things are not right, but then you see it all the time.
Right.
My question is to you is, do you think that's fair that these things get overlooked because certain things occur or events occur?
Well, see, that's the problem. Here we go again with there's no equality. You know, once again, you're letting one group drink with no problem.
Right.
And then the other group that drinks, you got to step to them, there's a problem right away.
Right.
You know, like, okay, if you're that class of color, and you drinking the same thing I'm drinking, why are you coming to me?
Right.
Because I have a drink in my hand.
Right.
Don't he have a drink in his hand?
We talked about the groups of people drinking. Like, if they catch us in a group, which can be like technically like 2 people.
Right.
But when you have like 6 to 7 to 10 people,
right, a few multiples, right,
doesn't that contradict, you know, who's allowed to do what and where?
Of course. I mean, look at it. You know, you have, you know, a group. Once again, you having a group that's pertaining to whatever they want to do. Say it didn't have to do with nothing about drinking. It was, okay, say a person had to use the bathroom. Now, we know, not to get off the subject a little bit, but we know that you can't go outside and just urinate anywhere. You know what I'm saying? You can't urinate at all. But if you need to urinate, you have to really like be in a closed area and where you have to take care of your business. Now, if a cop catches you urinating, they either write you a ticket or
you get locked up.
Get locked up. Okay. Now, one cop see a couple of guys urinating. Maybe they not as, what you per se, not as dark as us, but they have a little dark in them. Then you have, say, for instance, my color and darker, per se.
Right.
Urinating on a, you know, sidewalk.
Right. So, you know,
by the same group of cops.
Right. So, what's the main factor? What's the quick rundown for the folks?
The quick
rundown. You know, is it right or wrong?
Right or wrong is way wrong. Is over wrong.
Right.
Is basically it's just race.
Right.
Racist. You know what I'm saying?
Bias, socialism, racism,
All of that.
socialism,
Right.
classism,
And
all
it's,
the isms.
it's,
Right.
it's everything.
Now, moving on. The summer is coming up, so
Oh.
we base in Harlem.
Look,
Do we want to ask y'all? Do you think it's gonna be a lot of shit popping off in the neighborhoods, and we definitely probably gonna see a lot of niggas getting locked up?
Oh, like
oh
every
man,
summer.
listen,
And,
it's gonna be.
Ain't nothing new.
It's going to be quite a few people getting locked up. It's going to be more people getting locked up, getting killed. And we just know this because it's happening right now. Right now, throughout this whole interview, somebody already got popped. Somebody already died a few times. You know. I mean, a couple of people that died already. You know what I'm saying? That ain't sound right.
I know.
But,
but
you know where I'm going with this,
Yeah.
though. But honestly, I say, everybody got to watch their back. This is a police state. I'm bringing it to the forefront because it is what it is. At the end of the day, can't hide it no more. People already know what's going on.
Right. So let's switch gears.
Right.
What you think about artists trying to come up in the game today? I want to get both of y'all opinions on this because I've been in a couple of meetings and situations where hip hop is looking really, really fucking bad right now, and
it's looking weird.
honestly,
it's looking weird, but it's looking bad at the same time because the way, like, nothing's done, and if you want to call it, for lack of a better term, traditional, but it seemed more people were more ignorant and ill-informed than prior, and it's nothing wrong with that because at one point everybody didn't know everything.
honestly, I've
But-
listened to
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I've been listening to Power 105 a lot lately, and I noticed the rappers, they're doing a lot of singing. I don't know who's singing and who's rapping.
Yeah, they're doing a little bit of.
And every other song is Drake. I mean, come on. Every song, if it isn't Drake, if it is arch nemesis Chris Brown.
I mean,
I don't know. No, Chris Brown's supposed to be the singer, but often he raps. Drake, not like his style, but he does a lot of singing too. So it kind of confuses me.
But outside of that, you think the music is good or it sucks?
I like Drake. I like Chris Brown.
it's half and half to me.
Other than that, that's all that's really good right now. Those two. Nicki Minaj sucks.
Name a song.
Hope by Hope.
Drake.
Enemies.
Okay.
I like that one. It's kind of funny. Somebody.
Smoov. What's your thoughts?
I mean, honestly, it's always been half and half. You got your heavy hitters, and you got your not so heavy hitters. And you got some that's just okay. It's decent to listen to. At the end of the day. But I mean, from answering the question that you said before, like you were saying that.
Do you think that
right.
that
Yeah.
the game is getting it's looking real. It's not looking cute no more.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying?
It was beautiful.
It's
beautiful. It was like really like wonderful at the beginning when nobody didn't know anything.
Right. Because I feel that it's a lack of to some degree a lack of talent and a lack of interest opposed to somebody wanting to progress themselves. Like
I say it's a lack of respect too.
Yeah, that's a big part of it too because a lot of people don't know who the older cats is no more.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
right. Right.
You see it online all the time with people be like, yo, who the hell is this?
Yeah.
But
they don't know the artists. They don't do their history. They don't do their homework.
So it's just all just bubblegum rap now, right?
Yeah, pretty
Talking shit, because I'm gonna touch on the subject in a minute, but
Okay.
let's hit. Let's ask y'all what the deal is with the battle rap scene. What you think about battle rap?
Honestly, I'm a fan of diss records.
I love battle rap.
No, battle rap like.
No, I know.
Yeah,
I like
rap.
battle rap diss records. I don't know why.
Well,
So you don't like
No,
them?
I love battle diss records and battle rap.
I love battle
why.
rap because it shows the true skill.
Yeah, that's part of the hip hop culture.
That's the culture.
The
So,
battling
you know,
is
It's
the
always
best. I'm
been
the
like
man.
that. That's like the.
I want you to answer a question. Give me at least 2 to 3 a piece. Who you like, and why?
Honestly, I don't really keep up with it, but I do at times see it on YouTube. Disaster, the Arabic guy, he's okay.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I know you're talking about. Come on, spit it out.
yeah. I like Head Ice. You know.
I don't really keep up with it, but
Yeah, Head Ice.
Yeah, Head Ice. You know, I like the Dungeon. When they came out with the Dungeon that time, they had a few, you know, quite a few lords up in there, heads up in there. That was pretty good.
But that's the roots of it since the 70s. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
What's your
definitely.
thoughts on Facebook?
Oh, it's a good one of the best websites.
Well,
Yeah,
One of the best, not the best, but one of the best.
It's
You think
pretty
you
much
think
almost-
Facebook changed a lot?
Yeah,
I mean,
always
now
changed.
you got nudity. You pretty much got soft porn on there,
It's always changing.
and you know.
It's constantly changing. It's changing right now as we speak.
Yeah, now they telling me what I said 5 years ago.
Right.
Hey, you said this 5 years ago, Ron. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I'm scared that Facebook is becoming more face in your book. you in my, your face is in my book too much.
Yeah, you're getting explicit, but
I don't know how else to put it. But you know, it is what it is. At the end of the day, Facebook can either make you or break you. I mean, it can do good for you, it can do bad for you. It can change your life for good, change life for the bad. You know, I experienced both.
right,
So,
it depends really on what you trying to use it for.
right.
Specifically,
This is what I'm
right?
saying. You know, you have to use it in a productive way. You know.
Yeah, be careful what you put, because
You gotta
one time
care.
I got blocked.
Yeah, you gotta.
They thought my comments were inappropriate, so they took me off for 12 hours.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say what I put, but
See, I ain't never put nothing.
but the person
appropriate that I could.
who ratted on me was a white person. I'll say that.
For real?
Yeah,
See?
he didn't like
How do you
what
know that?
I know.
Oh, yeah?
So you
We
got
gotta talk later.
so you got reported by Facebook.
Yeah, see what it was. It was the George Zimmerman fans versus the people who can't stand him, and I was part of the people who can't stand George Zimmerman.
Okay.
And so, you know, I'm telling them the truth about their boy George Zimmerman. The boy had a criminal record prior. They didn't want to hear it. They were like, "Oh, he was innocent." I said, "Well, he had a criminal record before. Can you trust him?"
Right.
They didn't want to hear it. So I put something one day. Someone tried to block me for 12 hours.
That's
Now,
good.
I want to ask you a question. This is a serious one. The things that's happening in America right now are pretty damn serious, and we facing we facing going back to the 1900s, and our country and the world is in a real fucked up jam, and you know. We get a lot of people telling us bullshit about lies. What's your thoughts on who's running for president for 2016? Now, we all know, and Ron, we talked about this on the last joint, about how many fucking lies come up. So, the question is that regardless of what they say, what could be a solid reason for you to get behind a candidate or somebody, and knowing that what we know now will make you press that button and vote for them? And this is a hard question, because if you do your research, and we've been told a lot of shit over the years, and we talked about it, how most people in America was opposed to the Iraq war, and they still took us to war.
Right.
And they tried to do it several times, and they still doing it now. Now, it's a lot of protests all around the world on many different issues, but it's all the same problem. And most of it comes with money and power.
Right.
So, we don't know all the candidates right now, but it's a couple that already pledged up. Like Hillary is one, and
Yeah,
you got,
of course.
you know, a couple of Republicans, you know.
Right.
You know, and excuse me for not saying their names because I don't follow these people. And, you know, we just know Hillary because her husband was Bill. But,
Facts. I mean, at the end of
More
the
likely
day,
she's gonna win it.
what do you think, before y'all answer the question, what do you think that, if society don't get their fucking act together, where is our children, where we gonna be at in the next, like, we can't even say 30, 40 years anymore, because this shit is happening rapidly.
Yeah.
So let's say about 10 to 15 years,
right.
maybe 20 the most, if that.
It would, honestly,
Who you think is gonna be the, you know, this call out, where you think this shit gonna be at in the next year?
next year?
President wise, it can be
Probably.
political wise, or
Well, Obama's still got 2 more years, right?
he has about a year and a half now.
It has a year and a half. Oh.
Probably Hillary Clinton will win.
I would say Hillary Clinton because she was supposed to get it last year.
All the hype and
All
that's
the
all
hype
the
and
presidency is all about.
propaganda.
Hype and
I mean,
hoopla.
I wouldn't be, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if she didn't win either. Because they always getting the hype up and they always getting,
But
you know?
the thing is now is that if you follow, people are way more aware than they used to
course.
be a decade ago
Of course.
with the internet revolution.
Yeah.
And all of us know more than what we knew a decade ago.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
It's evident. So we know that these people, it's like a revolving door. We know that for a fact. But if we're going to be a country that's supposed to be free, then why do we still run with the same bullshit that gets put up? Whether that can be Democrat or Republican, or this Tea Party thing, or whatever.
Because we're not free.
You know what I feel?
We're definitely in a tough spot.
Let me tell you something. You know what? You know why that's happening? Because we allow it. We allow it.
I agree.
Vote for these people who don't do no good. We stand up for these people and make excuses for these people who do no good. And we sit there and guess what? Do nothing about it and then want to have the nerve to complain about it.
I think Nixon taught us already.
Oh,
Nixon, Giuliani, and Mike Doomberg.
That's a good one.
don't forget
He's a
about
doom buggy, right?
He's a
Sure
doom
was.
buggy.
Ugh.
Yeah.
So, it's gonna be some more questions, and we got another special guest that is gonna come on next week or so. A Blizzy. I'm gonna have her ask you some questions from the female perspective on any issue that she would like to address. So you're not gonna see it now, but I'm gonna let it come through and ask y'all fellas a couple of questions. You cool with that?
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
yeah.
Okay,
Not
cool.
a problem.
Her voice is hoarse, but never mind. We fix it up.
Yo, I can't even right now.
Ask the question.
No, honestly,
They can, you can ask it right from there.
it's already, well, you know.
I was really interested in this topic. I really can't, like, I'm not doing it.
Please no
I
side
can't
chick stuff.
do it, man.
It's alright.
Please no side chick.
Excuse her voice. She's a little bit under the
No,
weather, but
no,
bear with it.
no, it's not going down.
Mine is too.
Real question. Thought.
Go ahead.
All right.
Yes.
So what I really wanted to ask was, like, he was talking about people being in power and things like that, sort in that nature, and he was talking about, you know, who's gonna run for president, and all I could think is, wow, look at the society we live in. What do you think is the best way to really be successful in life? Because I was always told, go to school, get good grades, do what you gotta do, you know what I'm saying? Go to college, get a good job, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like my voice was purposely taken away tonight because I'm not supposed to be saying what's on my mind. I feel like it's too much. But all of these people in higher authority and positions, they all did these things that they're telling us to do to be successful.
Right.
How successful are we when our country and our whole history is nothing but full of pain and sorrow and chaos?
In a sham.
Like,
man cannot lead man. Man cannot lead man. That's why. It's to his own injury.
Yeah.
like at what point do people wake up to this fact? Because you're talking about centuries now. Like, when are you gonna wake up and realize that? Like, how many different ways you gotta try it before you really understand that this does not work? You cannot rule over me, like you are above me.
Right.
Same thing the Roman Empire.
We have to act as we are all equal.
Right. Well, I think one of the problems that's always been a problem, if you look back in history, is the lack of education. Now, it's not always on the part of the individual. It's what we was neglected from. Remember, they how used to burn the books.
Right. And then what they implemented afterwards.
Right. Now you got laws that's trying to control the internet, and we already know what the internet was about.
Right.
Right.
It's pretty much a beta test for the CIA or one of these groups.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's just that now it's been way beyond control because the internet was never intended for what it is today.
Right.
And, you know, majority of people know that. If they don't know that, then you need to go back and do some research. But,
that's why most things on the internet for music, games, and, you know, movies.
Porn.
Yeah, porn.
Sports. I mean, you can find it there. But like I said, the internet can be good and positive at the same time.
Yeah.
It's just what you use it for.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, we already know that everything in life is basically a tool. You know, everything around you is a tool. It can be used to help or to harm. And even we as people are tools. And we can either help or harm.
That's a fact.
The choice is basically up to us, you know?
You know what's so funny about the whole thing? The main thing about the whole thing is, see, it comes when the time when people get manipulated by just one thing, one idea. Oh, guess what? Why don't we try this? It won't hurt. And then guess what? What are you gonna say? Yeah, sure. And then later on, then guess what? People and that person don't. The person and you know, the couple of people, or whether it's two or few, you know, or a group, don't realize how much you're hurting society. Not when you're hurting society, you're hurting yourself, because you're bringing all these people to a forefront and to a destruction. So what you gonna say, you know, to that? You know, what's gonna happen after that? What you gonna do when the people is leading down that road to destruction? You know, are you gonna stop and think and say, well, hey, you know what? Listen, you know what? This is not working. What do you think? Is this working? I don't see this working out too tough. You know, we have to change a strategy or something. You know, this is not looking too right. You know, I think somebody need to switch up their thinking, and they need to really decide on what they're going to do before it gets too way out of hand, to the point where, you know, hey, things happen, and, you know, things get switched around. And when I say when things get switched around, I mean everything comes into play. The society, they don't care. The higher uppers, they don't care. You know, what you gonna do at this point in time? See, if you're thinking like I'm thinking, you're thinking about your kids. You're thinking about your neighbors. You're thinking about your family. You're thinking about your mother, your brother, your father, your sister, your cousin, your uncle, your niece, your nephew, whoever that close to you, that you love, you know, that's your family. How are you going to send anybody to a group of people and say, hey, I want you to do this to this group of people, meaning harm? You don't know those group of people. You know what I'm saying? But we're not going to go into that. You know what I'm saying? We're going to save that for another day.
Another day.
That was definitely really some deep stuff right there, and really something to really like take into consideration, because at the end of the day, you might take it for granted and take it lightly, but this is what's really happening. And I mean, not to get too caught up in politics, because I mean, me personally, I stand neutral, but if I was gonna discuss it like I'm discussing it now because it's affecting me personally, I would say that, I mean, it's gotta get worse before it gets better, apparently, because
absolutely,
unless we as people open up our minds and have complete control over our own minds and hearts and decisions, and even though we do to some extent, but we really don't. There's so many, you know, effects of the world that interact with us as human beings, that change us, that mold us, that create, you know, something away from, we don't even know ourselves. Who are we to say what somebody is supposed to or not supposed to be doing? Where is this instruction and guidance coming from? Is it coming from another person who's just like me, who could one day be talking and the next day doesn't have a voice? Or is this authority coming from something that's bigger and better than me?
Well, listen, honey, don't hurt that sweet voice. We're going to talk about that in the next go round.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? And we're going to wrap it up. You know, I thank y'all for listening in and tuning in.
Absolutely.
And everything.
And we'll see you guys again on the next run.
Y'all going to run with A Blizzy. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Ron, for having me. My name is Smoov De Niro.
What the deal with Ron?
What the deal with Ron?
What the deal with Ron?
Next week.
Yeah.
Next week.
See you guys next week.
Okay.
All right. That was good.
Yeah, it was.
That was crap. I like that.
Shoot another excerpt with it wasn't.
Oh my God! I'm so mad that I can't.